Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today, we're diving into a groundbreaking development that could reshape the future of trade and connectivity across Africa. Ibrahim Traoré's vision for regional connectivity takes a giant leap forward as the China Civil Engineering Construction Corporation, or CCECC, announces a jaw-dropping $1.4 billion investment into revamping the iconic Tanzania-Zambia Railway, also known as TZARA. This isn't just about steel tracks and engines. It's about unlocking economic potential and revolutionizing how Central Africa exports its precious copper. Join us as we unpack the implications of this investment, explore how it'll enhance the region's trade landscape, and what it means for the future of infrastructure in Africa. Don't miss out on these insights. If you're as excited about this development as we are, hit that like button, subscribe to our channel for more updates on critical infrastructure projects, and drop a comment below with your thoughts on how this could change regional trade dynamics. Let's get started. Reviving TZARA, a historical perspective. The TZARA Railway, stretching over 1,860 kilometers from Dar es Salaam in Tanzania to Kapiri-Mposhi in Zambia, was initially built with the vision of facilitating trade between the two nations. Completed in the late 1970s, the railway was a response to Zambia's need to export copper without relying on the hostile port routes of colonial neighbors. Historically, this railway has served as a lifeline for Zambia, handling an impressive share of its copper exports, especially during times of political instability and economic hardship. However, the railway has faced many challenges over the years, including outdated infrastructure, financial constraints, and management inefficiencies. The demand for copper and cobalt exports remains high, particularly with the global push for renewable energy solutions and electric vehicles. Thus, the decision to grant a concession for its upgrade reveals a keen understanding of the need for immediate action to revive not just the TZARA, but the economic potential of the entire region. TZARA Authority CEO Bruno Chingandu articulated that the CCECC's investment is a critical step forward, allowing Zambia and Tanzania to reclaim their competitive edge in the global market. The commitment of $1 billion to rehabilitate aging rail tracks, coupled with the purchase of new locomotives and freight wagons, represents a transformative vision that can stimulate economic growth and job creation, ultimately restoring TZARA to its former glory. Strategic partnerships for growth. The revived railway is particularly significant for its ability to circumvent the logistical bottlenecks that South African routes have experienced, historically hampering the export of vital minerals. CCECC's ambitious plan includes a substantial allocation of approximately $400 million for acquiring 32 new locomotives and 762 freight wagons, aimed at enhancing transport capacity and efficiency. This investment not only rejuvenates a 50-year-old railway, but also aligns with China's broader strategy to cement trade relations across Africa. Following last year's agreement between China and TZARA, the operational efficiency of the railway will become a linchpin for maintaining competitiveness against emerging alternatives, including the US-backed Lobito Corridor, which connects mineral-rich regions with Angola's Atlantic coast. Former President Joe Biden's visit to Lobito highlighted the potential of US initiatives in Africa, underlining the intense competition for influence and investment on the continent. Yet Chingandu underscores that Zambia's commitment to TZARA remains unwavering, rooted in its historical significance and economic necessity. The strategic significance of TZARA was underscored at the Zambia International Mining and Energy Conference, where Chingandu presented the proposal to potential investors and industry executives. The 30-year concession paves the way for 3 years of construction, followed by 27 years dedicated to railway operations and maintenance. The broader implications for economic integration. The investment into the TZARA Railway illustrates a broader trend towards regional integration and cooperation, with Tanzania and Zambia at the forefront of fostering interconnectivity. As countries increasingly recognize the need for collaborative infrastructure projects, the revival of TZARA could set a precedent for future successful partnerships within Africa. The immediate economic opportunities created by improved railway connectivity cannot be overlooked. By effectively addressing logistical challenges, the Tazara Railway can enhance copper exports, ultimately benefiting both nations' economies and offering a model for regional cooperation. Improved trade routes will not only facilitate the movement of raw materials, but also enhance regional resilience against global economic fluctuations. In a continent where many nations are landlocked and reliant on neighboring states for access to seaports, investments in railways and other transport infrastructure hold the key to unlocking economic potential. As Tazara positions itself as a critical transport line, other nations in the region, including Angola, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, and Zambia, may engage in discussions aimed at similar projects, fostering discussions around trade agreements, supply chains, and shared economic goals. Tanzania's ambitious railway development plans. Tanzania's government has its sights set on ambitious railway expansion plans that extend beyond Tazara. Earlier this year, Tanzania Railways and the China Railway Corporation signed a contract worth $2.15 billion for the construction of a standard gauge railway covering 282 kilometers, primarily aimed at linking the port of Dar es Salaam to Burundi. This project aligns closely with the government's vision to enhance regional connectivity in East Africa, while facilitating mineral exports from Burundi, particularly nickel ore. Burundi, while one of Africa's smaller nations, is rich in mineral resources, yet faces significant challenges in exporting these due to its landlocked geography. By tapping into Tanzania's established ports, Burundi can finally gain a vital economic route to international markets. This strategic partnership not only benefits Burundi, but positions Tanzania as a critical logistic hub for regional trade, further enhancing its economic prospects. Once operational, the new railway will drastically reduce transport time required to move minerals to Dar es Salaam, from an arduous 9 hours to just 3.5 hours. This cut in transportation time will lead to increased trade volumes and expedited economic activities. Enhanced logistical efficiency can also attract a wider range of businesses interested in operating within the region, ultimately contributing to economic diversification and resilience. Ibrahim Traoré's vision of connectivity and economic sovereignty. While Tanzania and Zambia pursue infrastructural innovations, the vision of Ibrahim Traoré, the president of Burkina Faso, emphasizes connectivity as a means toward economic sovereignty. In his ambitious New Year's address for 2025, Traoré outlined transformative projects that align with enhancing national security, infrastructure, and regional collaboration. Traoré's vision extends beyond Burkina Faso, envisioning the establishment of interconnected transport corridors across West Africa. His administration emphasizes the critical role of infrastructure in securing not only national interests, but also fostering a regional identity rooted in shared economic goals. This vision resonates with the modern age of African cooperation, where nations work collaboratively to enhance trade routes, resource management, and economic independence. As a landlocked nation, Burkina Faso faces unique challenges that emphasize the need for infrastructure investment and connectivity. Traoré is keen on addressing these issues through bold reforms aimed at not just upgrading but transforming Burkina Faso's transport systems. His administration seeks to explore public-private partnerships to develop integrated transport networks that link rural areas to urban centers while facilitating exports. One of the distinguishing features of Traoré's vision is the emphasis on sustainability and eco-friendly practices. Initiatives to establish artificial forests dedicated to medicinal plants are indicative of a holistic approach to economic development, prioritizing not just immediate gains, but also long-term environmental stewardship. By investing in green initiatives, Traoré is positioning Burkina Faso as a forward-thinking player in the global economy. Lessons from the past. Reflecting on historical collaborations provides profound insights into the current landscape of Africa's infrastructure initiatives. In the 1960s, Tanzania and Zambia partnered to construct the original Tazara railway during a time of significant upheaval and growth across the continent. China, despite being a developing nation itself, extended support to establish this lifeline, emblematic of a time when international cooperation was paramount for liberation and economic self-sufficiency. The historical underpinnings of such partnerships reveal that the potential for growth and prosperity is rooted in the willingness to explore collaborative frameworks. China's involvement in Africa, particularly in railway construction, has evolved, but the echoes of past partnerships continue to influence present dynamics. Investment in Tazara today symbolizes a rekindling of that spirit, aimed at unlocking regional capabilities through transformative infrastructure. The commitment to revitalizing aging rail networks implies a broader recognition of infrastructure as a lifeblood for economic growth, as countries increasingly seek to overcome colonial legacies that left them with fragmented transport networks. The need for regional cooperation and the creation of integrated logistics solutions continues to grow stronger. In this light, the investment by CCECC marks a significant turning point in African development, the growing importance of sustainable practices. Amidst these infrastructural developments, the discourse surrounding sustainability has emerged as a fundamental component of planning and execution. The environmental impacts of large-scale infrastructural projects cannot be ignored, and governments are becoming increasingly conscious of their duty to ensure that economic growth does not come at the expense of local ecosystems and communities. Incorporating sustainability into railway development means not only mitigating negative environmental effects, but also maximizing resource efficiency and creating lasting social benefits. This involves collaborations with local communities to ensure that infrastructure developments align with their needs and priorities. Community engagement fosters transparency and accountability, ensuring that projects serve dual purposes of economic upliftment and environmental protection. Traoré's initiatives in Burkina Faso underscore this commitment to sustainability, emphasizing that the path toward economic independence must also prioritize environmental health and community engagement. By integrating green practices into infrastructure development, African nations can carve out a unique position in global discussions surrounding climate change and sustainability, thereby remaining competitive in a marketplace that increasingly values corporate social responsibility. The future landscape of African railways. The significance of regional connectivity through railway systems has never been more pronounced. As nations like Tanzania move forward with their ambitious infrastructure upgrades, the ripple effects will likely extend beyond economic growth to socio-political stability. The commitment to enhancing trade routes helps address underlying tensions that arise from economic disparities, especially in regions where access to resources has been historically inequitable. Countries in East and Southern Africa, along with the active participation of regional bodies, have the potential to reshape their collective future through strong rail infrastructure. Investments such as the $1.4 billion towards Tazara can act as a cornerstone for an integrated regional transport network, fostering collaboration on varied levels, from trade agreements to shared technology and expertise. Moreover, this broader rail vision reflects the understanding that infrastructure can serve as a bridge, both literally and figuratively, between conflicting economic interests and disparate community needs. Upgraded rail systems can help enhance intercity travel, facilitate trade across borders, and ultimately contribute to national security and stability. Encouraging regional collaboration. As the foundational work for Tazara unfolds and visions proposed by leaders like Ibrahim Traoré take shape, it is crucial to maintain momentum for collaboration among African nations. Constructing a multifaceted, continent-wide approach toward infrastructure development necessitates collective action that transcends individual national agendas. Given the imperative for success, African governments, along with international partners, must foster an environment of cooperation that prioritizes equitable access to resources and community-centric planning. This collaborative spirit must embrace shared ownership of projects, where stakeholder input remains paramount from inception through execution. A vision for a prosperous future. The $1.4 billion investment by CCECC in Tanzania's Tazara Railway marks a crucial chapter in the narrative of African infrastructure development. As the global landscape continues to evolve, both regional partnerships and connectivity will play a pivotal role in shaping the future of Africa's economy. Ibrahim Traoré's vision in Burkina Faso serves as a compelling reminder of the untapped potential for nations to cultivate and enhance economic sovereignty through collaboration, innovation, and sustainable practices. Investment in Tazara is not just an economic initiative. It serves as a beacon of opportunity, illuminating a path toward greater regional cooperation and prosperity. As African nations rally behind shared goals, the continent stands at the cusp of a revolutionary shift, one that promises a brighter future filled with economic resilience, environmental sustainability, and a spirit of collective growth. Let us embrace this opportunity to build a unified Africa, wherein each nation plays a vital role in driving progress and development for generations to come.